All right, peace and blessings, everybody. March the 17th, the year 2018. David Hinkson is a very busy guy. He's able to crank out a lot of information on a lot of different topics. This one is Calcium Conspiracy Report Part 2. When he sent me Part 1, he didn't put Part 1, so I thought that was Calcium Conspiracy Report. And I read it into YouTube thinking it was the whole thing. But now he sent me a Part 2. So I went back and labeled the original one Part 1. And this one is Part 2. You can get both Calcium Conspiracy Part 1 and 2 if you go to the Hinkson page on yearofjubilee.com. All right, it's March the 17th, 2018. Let's read it. Calcium Conspiracy Report Part 2 by David Hinkson. Our cycle of disease and death escalates. As we become more acidic, all biological processes struggle and our overall pH acidic levels are lowered. As our overall pH levels go below 7, cancer cells are allowed to divide and tumors can start to grow easier. All of these concepts center around calcium, as calcium is the main mineral that really helps to keep our overall pH balance in check. As calcium levels are lowered by our intake of acidic food preservative, acidic toxins being secreted from different pathogens and or parasites and or even decomposing pathogen and parasites. Therefore, as these calcium levels are lowered, especially if you have used them up, many people should be taking larger amounts of the calcium as a supplement so that the bones are not surrendering it, as the body has a way of making these kinds of priorities. I discovered that some of my liquid minerals were 100% non-toxic no matter how much of it was consumed. I named these 4 minerals that I used for this purpose as NTSS agents, non-toxic, saturation safe. A mineral that is a good agent under this NTSS concept also would have the ability to travel everywhere through the entire body system where there is liquid/water, and this would include the blood and the complete lymph system. In summary here, the NTSS agent should be able to travel everywhere and be found in your spit, sweat, tear, drops, urine, and should even be secreted directly into the lung cavity as phlegm from the lymph system. This is where my cousin Derek lost his lung infection 2 hours after consuming an 8-ounce glass of copper water. The 3 best minerals that I have tested that meet this criteria were in fact the calcium, zinc, copper, and magnesium. Then I proceeded testing using larger doses as NTSS constants to see what medical benefits would be obtained. So it seems that when a larger amount of calcium is consumed as an NTSS agent, you end up being able to mask and or hide some or all of the symptoms that are being caused by these acidic crystalline neurotoxins. This is important to note, as when a person gets sick, they hopefully will reach a point where they are not getting any sicker before they reach death's door. But it would now seem that consuming a large quantity of this kind of calcium could help a person survive even the plague. So a good dosage of calcium being taken as NTSS would be at least 4 ounces at 700 parts per million. The next NTSS project that I tested was zinc. Zinc as an NTSS agent ends up within just 15 minutes of consumption, stopping all of the sexual replication of all nitrogen-breathing pathogens. Zinc also acts as a super antioxidant. So when a person has actually stopped all of the sexual replication of these pathogens, you end up freezing the overall condition so that it is not progressing or getting worse. This is an important concept to note, as after 10 days, any and all viruses lose their ability to replicate, and after 30 days, they start to die off of old age. So a person's viruses would stop replicating after 10 days anyway, and then they would lose their viral infection completely in about 30 days as these pathogens all die off. The next NTSS project that I tested was copper. Copper as an NTSS agent ends up actually killing all nitrogen-breathing pathogens, viruses, and bacteria within about 15 minutes. But it also kills something that no other element can kill, and that is that it kills all parasites, i.e. malaria. And as this copper can pass through all of the different barriers, like the blood-brain barrier, the spinal fluid barrier, it can actually kill and destroy brain-eating amoeba. Note, according to current medical concepts, there is no treatment to stop or cure a brain-eating amoeba, as you would normally just die. but the copper will 100% stop the amoeba in 15 minutes. It will also kill the brain-eating amoeba that is called Leishmaniasis. Gulf War veterans have this. Antagonisms. The concept states that consuming too much zinc in your diet can remove copper, and too much copper in your diet can remove zinc. Therefore, I thought it would be important to have a copper product to go along with the zinc if someone wants to take both. But in my past, while actually doing clinical testing, I never saw any long-term problem develop from consuming too much of the copper, or even zinc for that matter. But I thought I would let you know about this concept of antagonisms anyway. In November of 2002, I flew to Zarhov, Ukraine. I was the guest speaker all day at the Russian Federation of Infectious Disease Symposium. In attendance was the Surgeon General of Russia and the Ukraine and maybe Belarus, and over 150 doctors who all specialized in infectious diseases. I spoke all day, and the Roman Ponomarenko was my interpreter. In my speech, I taught and covered how an NTSS agent could penetrate and carry other things throughout the entire body system. For example, if a person were to mix the copper with some baking soda, this would maybe help to target cancers. As normal cancer that is developing likes to use some copper to expand its feeder veins. Yet copper at the NTSS level is toxic to cancer cells, as it seems to kill any pathogens that breathe nitrogen, and believe it or not, a cancer cell is really one of your cells that is now breathing nitrogen. So as you can see, a lot of these concepts start overlapping. In general, I love to use the calcium as a treatment to go along with any product, as it really enhances what you are attempting to medically do. Therefore, in general, calcium can be consumed without any negative side effects, no matter how much within reason is consumed, in my opinion. As you can see, as I teach these concepts, I seem to make a lot of enemies and a lot of friends. Your friend, Dave.